So everything has some mixture of these characteristics. You've got to think of them as a kind of a multi-dimensional set of like bars, right? So you could have 5 out of 5 on that one, but only 3 out of 5 on the other one. And you have to make your own assessment. Okay. And also they change over time. Things become more centralized or more decentralized. You have to be vigilant. But then there are also a number of corporate, centralized, or permissioned blockchains, as they're called, which have none of these characteristics. So they're not open, they're not borderless, they're not censorship resistant, they're not neutral, they're not public, they're not transparent. They call themselves blockchains. Facebook is launching, presumably next month, their own coin. We joke and we call it Zuckbucks, but they're going to call it Global Coin, I think, or something like that.
Right.
And the irony, of course, is it's not Global Coin, because it can't be borderless. And the reason it can't be borderless is because as global as Facebook is in most of its reach, its jurisdiction is very carefully controlled. So if you are a US citizen who has Facecoin, you can't send it, or Zuckbucks, you can't send it without restrictions. They're going to be subject to the same laws that PayPal has, and any of the other big banks. So it can't be borderless. It can't be neutral. They have to know the identity of both parties in every transaction, and those parties must be allowed. It's not open. They have to be vetted in order to participate. It's not censorship resistant. They have a legal obligation to censor transactions, certain transactions, right?
Okay.
So therefore, it has none of these characteristics.
Which means it doesn't qualify as what? It doesn't qualify as what in your minds?
For me, it doesn't qualify as revolutionary, interesting, or impactful to the future.
Okay.
It's going to impact banks because it competes very directly against banks. If you're a banker, you should be terrified now because you've got Bitcoin coming on one end, open, peer-to-peer, borderless. You can't play in that game at all because it's an alien thing.
Right.
And then on the other end, your best business, which is making payments and using technology, is now being threatened by a company that knows how to do technology much better than you and has a dopamine playful algorithm that can make people addicted, and 2 billion users on day one. You're screwed.
All right. So you're excited by this development because it ultimately will help the crypto market, but you're clear to say this is not crypto as we know it as far as...
It doesn't serve the same market.
Right.
It doesn't serve the same market. It might serve some markets, and it's an interesting experiment, and it will promote the whole space. But it doesn't serve the same market as the open, private, peer-to-peer crypto.
Okay. But will it be successful, do you think?
Oh, I think, of course, it will be successful.
Zuckbucks. Have they tried to do that a few years ago, or no?
No, I don't think so. I mean, let's call it Global Coin or Globe Coin or whatever they're going to call it. I don't know if they did. I mean, there's all of these rumors that swirl around that everybody gets excited, etc. But the other thing you have to realize, and this is really, really important, more than anything else, this is a surveillance coin. It is the worst kind of surveillance coin connected to the worst kind of surveillance company that's exercising the worst kind of surveillance capitalism, right? So, you want to play in that? I would never. I don't have Facebook applications. I don't have an account. I don't use it. It's not on my phone. I would never touch that stuff. You want to go there? Great. Remember, every time you make an easy transaction and you hear the little ding-ding sound of that, remember, that's the sound of democracy dying. That's the sound of independence dying. That's the sound of personal privacy dying. And you just made someone rich while killing all of the things that matter in free societies.
That's harsh.
It's true, though. It's true. It's the absolute reality. Yes, Grandpa likes sharing pictures. Yes, but Grandpa also used to be free. And his grandchildren are not going to be.
So every time he shares a picture, you're watching democracy die a bit. And
absolutely. Yes, they're manipulating elections. They're manipulating our dopamine responses. They're manipulating attention. They're spreading radicalism and extremism. They're spreading misinformation that's leading to the greatest measles outbreak in the world ever seen. They're spreading conspiracy theories, and they're doing all of that while driving advertising and your personal information to people who are monetizing it.
And now they're going to get in the money business.
And now they're going to get into the money business. And if you let them, they're going to be very successful at that. And eventually they're going to beat the banks at it. And then Facebook's going to be your bank. Good luck ever escaping that.
Wow.